I thought she loved me, but I was wrong. Her name was Anita. She came into my life when I least expected it. I wasn't looking for love. I had been through pain, disappointment, and heartbreak, so I had learned to guard my heart. But Anita was different. She had a calm way of speaking and a warmth that made you feel safe. When she laughed, it was like the room lit up. You couldn't ignore her presence, no matter how hard you tried. We met at a friend's birthday dinner. She sat beside me and we talked like old friends. It was easy. No pressure. No pretending. That night we exchanged numbers. She smiled at me when we said goodbye, and I remember sitting in my car, reading her last message and smiling like a fool. From that moment we talked every day. We'd message in the morning, call at night, and sometimes fall asleep on the phone. She made me feel seen, heard, important. She asked about my dreams, my fears, my past. I opened up to her in a way I hadn't done with anyone else in years. It wasn't long before I fell for her. Not just her beauty, but her soul. The way she cared for people. The way she would go quiet when she was deep in thought. The way she remembered the smallest things I said weeks ago. She was thoughtful, attentive, and always made me feel like I mattered. So when I told her I loved her, it wasn't some rushed feeling. It came from deep within. She didn't say it back right away, and I respected that. She smiled, held my hand, and whispered, "Thank you for being patient with me." I took that as a sign to keep going, to keep showing her that my love was real. I gave her everything I could, my time, my heart, my honesty. I made her my priority. I would cancel plans just to be with her. I'd show up when she was having a rough day. I bought her flowers, not because it was a special occasion, but just because I was thinking of her. But then, slowly, I noticed small things. She would reply to my messages late. She seemed distant during our calls. Sometimes, I'd talk for minutes and realize she hadn't heard a word I said. Her eyes, once full of life when we were together, now looked elsewhere. I tried not to panic. I gave her space. I told myself she was just busy. Maybe she was tired. Maybe I was overthinking again. But the truth was knocking, and I was too afraid to open the door. Then one evening we were sitting in my living room. She was quiet, too quiet. I asked her if everything was okay. She nodded but didn't look at me. My chest felt heavy, like I already knew what was coming, but didn't want to hear it. Finally, after a long silence, she turned to me and said, "There's something I've been keeping from you." I didn't speak. I just looked at her, bracing myself. "I've been trying to move on from someone," she said. "Someone I loved deeply. We had a long history and things ended badly. When I met you, I thought I was ready to let him go. I thought I could start fresh. And you've been nothing but good to me. You've given me more than I deserve." I held my breath. My hands felt cold. She continued, "But I still think about him, every day. And when I'm with you, sometimes I feel like I'm pretending." Those words cut deeper than I expected. "Why didn't you tell me this earlier?" I asked, my voice barely a whisper. "Because I wanted to love you. I really did. I thought maybe with time I could forget him. But I haven't. And it's not fair to you." I stared at the floor. Everything felt like it was spinning. The girl I had opened my heart to, the one I had waited for, prayed for, hoped for, never truly saw me. I was just someone to help her forget. That night she cried. I didn't. I had no more tears left. She hugged me before she left, and I stood there like a statue, cold and hollow. The door closed behind her, and with it so did everything I had imagined for us. Days turned into weeks. Couldn't sleep, couldn't eat. Every song reminded me of her. Every corner of my apartment carried her scent. Her toothbrush was still in the bathroom. Her favorite mug was still in the kitchen. I couldn't bring myself to throw anything away. Friends told me I deserved better, that I was too good for her. But none of that helped, because love doesn't care about logic. Love doesn't listen to advice. I started blaming myself. Maybe I wasn't enough. Maybe if I had done more, she would have stayed. Maybe if I had kissed her differently, listened better, smiled more, she would have chosen me. But deep down, I knew that wasn't true. She never stopped loving him. I was the bandage, not the cure, the backup, not the dream, and no matter how much I gave her, I could never compete with a ghost from her past. Months later, I saw her again, by chance. She was walking out of a coffee shop with him, her hand in his, laughing. That same laugh I once heard on the phone at midnight. My heart broke all over again, but this time I didn't cry. I just nodded to myself and walked away. That day I finally understood something. Sometimes, love is not enough to make someone stay. Sometimes you can be the right person with the right intentions and still not be the one they choose. She loved him, not me. And I have to learn to live with that, to let go of the what-ifs, to stop waiting for a return that will never come. I have to believe that one day, someone will choose me, not out of loneliness or timing or healing, but out of love. Real love. Until then, I'll keep breathing, keep walking, keep healing. It's been over a year now since that day outside the coffee shop. I still remember every detail, the way she looked at him, the way he touched her hand, the way I felt invisible. That moment stayed with me like a scar that never completely fades. I tried to date again. Friends encouraged me to put myself out there, to give someone else a chance. So I did. I went on dates. Some women were kind, interesting, even beautiful. But my heart didn't move. I'd smile, laugh, make small talk, but deep down, I felt numb. Because every time I tried to give someone new a piece of me, it felt like I was giving away something that still belonged to her. I hated that. I hated that someone who walked away still had such a hold on me. But healing isn't something you can rush. And I had to accept that my heart was broken in a way that couldn't be fixed by someone else. I had to fix it myself. So I started spending more time alone. Not lonely, just alone. I began writing again, journaling, pouring out everything I felt into words because I couldn't say them out loud. I went on long walks without a destination. I listened to music that made me feel something, even if it hurt. And little by little, I started to feel pieces of myself coming back. But the thing about heartbreak is it doesn't knock loudly after a while. It sneaks in quietly. Sometimes, I'd be at a grocery store and hear a laugh that sounded like hers. I'd turn my head so fast, only to see a stranger. Or I'd be driving and pass by the street where we once parked and talked for hours. That old ache would return. Not as sharp as before, but still enough to make my chest tighten. I no longer hated her. I no longer wished she chose me. I just wished it had ended differently. One night, months later, I got a message. It was from Anita. Just a short one. Hey, I hope you're okay. I know I probably shouldn't message you, but I think about you sometimes. I just wanted you to know that I'm sorry if I ever made you feel like you weren't enough. You were. I just wasn't ready. I stared at that message for a long time. I didn't reply. What could I say? That I missed her? That I still dreamt about her sometimes? That I had imagined a life with her and had to bury it like a memory I wasn't allowed to speak of? No, some chapters are better left closed. She made her choice, and I had to live with mine. I won't lie, some nights are still hard, but they don't crush me like they used to. I've learned to let the pain sit beside me without letting it consume me. I no longer wait for her to come back. I no longer replay every moment, wondering what I could have done differently. I gave her the best parts of me, and that's something I can be proud of. One day, maybe I'll meet someone who looks at me like I'm home. Someone who doesn't carry someone else in their heart. Someone who chooses me with both hands, without hesitation. Until then, I'll keep growing. Because I've learned that being loved is beautiful, but being at peace with yourself is even more powerful. And now I'm getting there. Day by day.